After all the Isak drama last night, Newcastle are still searching for a striker or two, and a bid has been put in for one of them. Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. That's right, you would have seen at the title, Newcastle United have bid for Yoane Wissa. Will it get accepted? Will he be coming to the Toon? Well, before we get stuck in to today's video, please do subscribe to the channel, and first of all, let's have a word from our sponsors. Are you playing William Hill's Final One Standing yet? Football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. The rules are simple. Pick a team each match week. If they win, then you get through to the next round. If they lose or draw, then you are out. But fear not, if you did mess up, you did get a team wrong, and you are knocked out, well, you don't have to worry, because there is a new eliminator game every single Premier League match week. Thankfully, I got myself through last week by picking Nottingham Forest to beat Brentford. This week, I have to say the fixtures are looking even tougher, but that is the name of the game. So test out your ball knowledge and see if you can get through each and every single week. But as I said, if you do get knocked out, you will have a chance to enter a new round of fixtures the following game week. This week, I'm going to go for Arsenal to beat Leeds. Surely Arteta's men can get over the newly promoted side. But it won't be an easy one, and I'm picking one of the big guns early doors. That might be a tactic if people leave the big best teams until further on down the line. But I'm going for it. I'm going for Arsenal at home. Everyone else looks a bit tough, looks a bit tricky. Let us know who you pick in the comments. And if you want to get involved in the Final One Standing game by William Hill, then scan the QR code that is on your screen now. Hit the link in the description or head over to the App Store and download William Hill. Remember, you have to be 18 plus to play, and it is in the UK and Ireland only. And do remember to gamble responsibly. Full terms and conditions apply. The link for that is in the description below. And remember, the deadline for this week is Friday 8 PM, so get your picks in before the deadline. Right then, people, so the breaking news this afternoon is that Newcastle United have indeed submitted a bid of a £40 million package for Brentford's Yoane Wissa. It's £35 million up front with £5 million in add-ons. Ben Jacobs broke this about half an hour ago, and now you'll see Sky Sports News reporting it as well. So, Newcastle United are waiting a response from Brentford, but are hopeful of a deal being done and this bid getting accepted. I mean, surely we would have got encouragement to make this offer. Remember, we did have an opening bid of £25 million rejected for the Congolese striker last month. Feels like about a year ago. Feels like last year at least, how long this summer transfer window has been on for and all the sagas and dramas. But this one could be, hopefully, coming to an end soon. We're going to get into all the Wissa details in terms of, his behaviour, because I can already see the comments from Liverpool fans and maybe some Newcastle fans and Man U fans and all the rest of them saying, oh, you want Wissa, but he's behaving just like Isak. Oh, how hypocritical. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let's focus on the details of this transfer or potential transfer. So talks have resumed between Newcastle United and Brentford today, as they said they would yesterday, and they are now in direct talks and are hoping that the deal is very close. And as I mentioned before, surely we've had some encouragement to go ahead and make this bid, and Brentford are going to accept it, because, or they're at least going to tell we're maybe, chuck a few more million in it. But will Newcastle do that? Because £40 million is a package for a 29-year-old striker who would be free next year is as much as you should be paying. Now, I like Wissa, personality, character-wise. We'll judge that in a minute, because his behaviour lately has been unacceptable, just like our strikers. But I love Wissa on the pitch. Great goal scorer, very good attacker, versatile, fantastic. Just what Newcastle need. Premier League proven, can come in, play against Liverpool on Monday night and score a goal probably. You know what you're going to get. It's not a risk, it's not a foreign signing, it's not a gamble, it's not a young kid. He's 29, he's experienced. It's a brilliant upgrade on Callum Wilson. And it's something that we should be looking to do for the last couple of years now, really. So getting Wissa in, like I said, bagged 19 goals, all from open play last season. That's a fantastic stat for a mid-table Brentford side. So I really like Wissa signing as a player. Personality thinking, wait for a minute. But yeah, the deal's got to be close. I think this one's going to get accepted, or at least some encouragement to say 2-3 million more, or maybe it's the structure of the payments, or extra in add-ons, whatever. But it's got to be right up there with what Brentford are asking for. The silliness the other day that they were demanding 60 million. Like I said, for a player with 12 months left, they just don't do that. They acknowledged that he was going to leave last week. They told him he could leave. They left him out of squad training. He didn't actually refuse to train. Keith Andrews said that he welcomed him back to the squad for a bit, and then they realised that he was going to get sold because we thought they were going to accept the 35 million offer last week. They didn't, and then he's been training on his own again. But there must be now coming round to the fact of how much Wissa wants to leave, how much Newcastle are putting up, and the fact that he's going to leave for a free in 12 months' time. You either take 40 million quid now, or you're getting out next year. And like I said, there's an argument for Brentford to think, well, actually, instead of taking the 40 million, we'll keep him, we'll stay up, and then it's worth more than that. I get that, and fair enough, they're in all their rights to do that. If they want to keep their player, and they want to value him at 60 million, to push away any potential signing, and that's their prerogative, right? But sensible option here might look like it's going to prevail in them accepting a very good bid for Yoane Wissa and allowing the player to leave. So this will be a very good signing for Newcastle to get it over the line, to get a striker through the door. Remember, at the minute, we only have Asula, we only have Anthony Gordon playing as a 9, so it's not right. It hasn't been working. But Newcastle are looking to get this one done, finally a striker to replace Callum Wilson, and then will they potentially look to replace Alexander Isak? Well, the club statement said last night that he is going to stay. He's ready to be part of the family once again, when Isak himself is ready to rejoin his teammates. That's for a whole other video, the Isak stuff again. But there's loads of videos that we did late last night on Isak if you want to check them out. 2 live streams, another video, plenty going on there with Isak, and the Strand Lawson links yesterday. So Newcastle might revisit this and make it Wissa over the line and think, right, what we've got? 10 days left the transfer window. Let's see if we can push the boat out. Let's see if we can sign Strand Lawson. Let's see if we can sign Samu or Gonzalo Ramos and try and get a deal done somewhere. But focus now is on the Bees striker, as it has been for a good few weeks, to be fair. So let's just put the old spectacles on and see if there's been any further developments or reports on this since I started the video. Newcastle Brentford talking directly. Bid went in today. Wissa's currently at Brentford's training ground and awaiting progress on the potential transfer. That's from the Daily Mail there. So it looks like there is an expectation from Wissa's camp, at least. You know, he's sitting there, bags packed at Brentford's training ground, ready to go to the airport and fly up to Newcastle. He's hoping that they do accept that bid any minute now. And as we've said, the clubs have been talking for days now. So there must have been encouragement to place this bid, the right bid and the right sort of bracket of fee, and you think this is going to get done now. For me, it looks like it is, and Wissa will be signing for Newcastle. But then again, the way this summer has gone, you don't really want to tempt fate or say anything with these signings so far. I mean, last week, very good week, getting in Chow and Jacob Ramsey, but before that, obviously, we'd struggled for ages to get someone in. Let's combat the discussion that will follow then. Is this a good move for Newcastle off the pitch? Because on the pitch, absolutely it is. You know, it really is. His goal scoring record is very, very good. Solid striker, versatile. Really, really a big fan of his playing capabilities. But the personality, not so much lately. Now, I can't sit here. Well, I could, but it would be very hypocritical of us to be like, oh, Isak's a disgrace. Look at what he's doing. Look at this. And then be like, oh, I'll tell you what, Wissa's sound, isn't he? What a bloke. Go on, push the move through, Yoane. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't. It's not been right from Wissa, to be honest with you. And this week again, I think it was disrespectful. You know, you can unfollow Brentford and all that, but like not changing the picture, I don't mind that either. It's removing the pictures. I think that's very disloyal and very disrespectful to the fan base, especially. You know, he's like erasing it from his memory, like it never happened, like he never played for Brentford. Like, that's a shame for their fans who have cheered him on for match day after match day, week after week, like we did with Isak. That's what I hate about this. And obviously last night in Isak's statement, there was no mention of the fans, like just disregarding the fans who, you know, you cheer in front of them, you kiss the badge, they buy your shirt with it on the back, they chant your name, and everything's just like wiped away like it never even happened. I think that bit's poor. Obviously at the start it was banned from him. You know, he flew back from their pre-season, didn't he? Went out there, he flew back from their pre-season to try and get the move done, to try and have talks at Brentford's training ground. And it's kind of hit and miss, this one. It's kind of up and down, where you look at the broken promises that Isak suggests, which is clearly, you know, the new contract not being given to him on a bigger wage. With the Wissa thing, I don't know as well. Maybe Brentford YouTubers, journalists, fans can comment on this video and let me know what has apparently been the case behind the scenes with him, because I haven't seen much about it, apart from the fact that he was guaranteed to leave if a Champions League team came in for him. He was told he could leave if a bid came in of 26 million, which never happened. It was actually more than that. Now it's 35, so surely he'll accept this. And it's from a Champions League team. He was told that once they get a replacement in, he could leave. Now they're saying that Atora is Mbeumo's replacement, but they're close to getting someone else, so maybe that's why this is progressing now. And he was told last year when Nottingham Forest came in, and he was interested in a move, that he would be able to leave to a Forest or to another European team the following window. So they obviously pulled the plug on that, and he's obviously thinking, well, I've only got 12 months left. I thought you wanted some money for us. I want a new challenge. I'm 29. You know, I've got Newcastle there. No disrespect to Brentford, but massive club. You know, big ownership with big ambition. If it wasn't for PSR and FFP. Eddie Howe there, I want to play for him, and I want to play in the Champions League. So it's a bit different from the Isak situation in that case. You know, I know Isak looks at Liverpool and thinks, right, I can go there and maybe win the Premier League. And Wissa's looking at it and thinking, right, I can go there and play in the Champions League. But when Isak's got 3 years left instead of 12 months left, because there's comments as well, like, oh, Brentford can activate another year. There was rumours that was the case, however, they haven't done that. So that shows that he still only has 1 year left because they haven't activated the extra year. So he does only have 12 months left. But it's difficult with this one. And like I say, I don't condone Wissa's actions, don't condone Isak's actions. Both players should have just went about it a right and proper professional way. But at the end of the day, it shows the player power. It shows where we're at. We don't know exactly what's being said behind closed doors with Wissa. And I guess Isak, apart from what he put on his statement last night, which was mad. But listen, we'll wait and see. I do really like Wissa as a player. I'm very happy with the signing. We're getting a quality Premier League proven striker in there. But of course, I don't condone his behaviour in the past couple of weeks at all. But let us know what you think on the potential signing of Wissa for 35 million plus 5 million add-ons if Brentford do accept this one and let him come up to Newcastle. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. There's no podcast tonight as we're doing media work at the Come Together Festival. So we'll see you next week with that one. But for the meantime, stay subscribed because there's plenty of updates as per usual. And I'm sure I'll see you again very soon.